Tim Wilkins here. Got a little cold. I wanted to talk to you today for our blog about the 12 rules for being beautifully human. I have this favorite blog that I like to look at every day. It's called markandangel.com, and I recommend it for anyone who wants to be better or just digs life or wants to get tips on how to be happier. Anyways, so the first rule for being beautifully human is live one day at a time. And living one day at a time essentially means anything that we're going through on a one-day basis is manageable. Anything that attacks us on one day, like a parking ticket or that essay we have to write, or the song that needs to be written, or whatever it is for you, that's manageable. It's when we start to have things from the past that are already done start to hurt us, or things from the future that haven't happened yet. That's when things get overwhelming and too complicated. So the first rule is to live one day at a time. The second rule is to be okay with not being okay all the time. So that just means that everybody falls apart at some point for some reason, and that needs to be all right. That needs to be a necessary part of becoming. And a lot of times there's such an emphasis on being happy, especially recently. It's like we need to be happy all the time, but we don't really need to be happy all the time. I mean, what would you ever get done if you were happy and just blissed out all the time? I don't think you'd be as motivated to accomplish as much as you want to. Anyways, moving on. Number 3, earn the best days of your life. So that essentially means that in order to become who you're going to become, or become the fullest version of yourself, you have to go through these dark nights of the soul, these very difficult times where you get shattered, or where you are tested, or where you're pushed to your limit, or where things that you hoped would happen or wanted to believe in, end up not working out the way that you planned. So those are all kind of badges that you have to go through, and it's best to not shy away from it when it comes, and to just kind of look it in the eye and do your thing, and let it strengthen you. Number 4, when your intuition begs you to listen. So that's an interesting one, but essentially I think what that means is, a lot of times we have these ideas of who we should be, or what we should be doing, and how we should be thinking. And I think that sometimes you just have a gut instinct of that is very contrary to what people in your life that you love and trust would say, or even what your normal day in, day out, expectations and rules would say. But you just kind of have to go for it. You have to kind of step out of that boundary. And I suppose when your intuition is really telling you that, and when you can feel it as an instinctual thing, you just kind of got to go for it. Some of the best things happen that way. I've experienced this in my life, where I didn't do what I was supposed to do, and it ended up being a total blessing. Number 5, look within for the answers you seek. So I really like that one a lot, because happiness isn't going to be found in the Samsung Galaxy S4. It's not going to be found in material things, or even achieving your goals, getting to some outcome. It has to be an inside job. It's not going to be found in another person either. which is a tough pill to swallow, but it's not. It has to come from you. And yeah, so I like that one. That's the one I'm working on the most. Number 6, dare to challenge the status quo. I like that one. I mean, it's just important because in a world filled with doubt, you have to be the one that's willing to dream. In a world filled with anger, you have to be the one that's willing to forgive. In a world filled with hate, you got to be the one that's going to dare to love. So, there's a lot of ways where we can step out of, I guess the status quo, to live bigger, to be bigger. Number 7 is work hard when hard work is required. That one's badass. Especially like during times of intense sadness or during times of quote unquote failure, which doesn't usually ever really happen if you're doing what you love or what you want to be doing because it just instructs you. So I like that one. Number 8, this is getting too long, sorry. Appreciate your blessings. Life is give and take, giving thanks and taking nothing for granted. That one, I just read that one. Most of this I've been freestyling, but I really like that one. I underlined it. So, just be grateful. Being grateful is a much better way to orient yourself to the world than worrying about things that are gone or that are past or, Number 9, use your voice to support truth. Hiding how you really feel and not saying something to make someone that would step on someone's toes, even though it's true, doesn't make you nice. It just makes you a liar. So it's important to speak up when it's appropriate, when it's needed. It's important to be brave enough to be willing to do that. Mostly, I'm realizing more and more that the songs that I write and the blogs that I do are just reminders for myself of who I want to be. So if you've gotten this far in the video, epic. Thanks for watching. Number 10, practice kindness with an open mind. Be compassionate and kinder than necessary, because everybody that you meet is fighting some kind of battle. That's true. That's totally true. I forget all the time as I get wrapped into my ego things or, just the very self-centered way that I go about my life at times. I forget that people are just as complex and have just as much stuff going on as me on the inside, and it's really easy to simplify someone into a snap judgment of who they are. But, gotta learn not to do that. Really meet people. Almost done. Number 10 is practice kindness with an open mind. Wait. I just said that one. We're almost done. We are done. No. Number 11, nurture your important relationships. That's one of my favorites because, friends, real friends, they see your shittiest parts and they're like, I dig that. I don't dig that, but I tolerate that and love you anyways. And those are the ones that deserve your energy and time because they are rare. The last one is let life guide you. I do think that there's this weird kind of magic that exists that I'll never actually be able to comprehend. It's really interesting how we even came to be, how I'm looking at this random lens and connecting with people. And we actually started off as this, I don't even know, this gook that exploded and became more complex. And then Apple computers came out. That was totally irrelevant. But, yeah, I like that one a lot. Let life guide you. That's difficult at times. Anyways, this is a 10-minute blog. So sorry. I hope it recorded audio because sometimes it doesn't record audio. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We've got a show on January 15th. It's at Brick and Mortar. And yes. Adios.